Hi, I'm Bert,
Hey, I'm Roslyn.
and welcome to another edition of It's About Marriage, where we talk about things that benefit marriage from a biblical perspective. Today,
Oh, yes. So today we're going to be talking about three questions to ask your husband or your wife for a fun conversation.
it's a fun day kind of video.
Yeah, we need some laughter, some lightening up, right? So my first question is for you. What's one of the funniest things that's ever happened to you or that you've ever seen? One of the funniest things that's happened to you or that you've ever seen.
For me, it's not so much funny as it was an embarrassment, but it was a self embarrassment because only I knew about it. In summer camp, I go to summer camp every summer, and we usually camped off, ways off from where we ate. And so
You said you go to summer camp?
we went to summer camp every summer, yeah, in
Oh.
the Boy Scouts.
Uh-huh.
And so we would sleep in these big army-like tents, these big canvas tents. And one day, I don't know how I got left behind, but I was the last one to go, and I was rushing and putting my clothes on, and I put my shirt on, my shoes, my socks, and and everything. And I headed out, and I was running halfway down the trail. A thought came to mind. I like to think it was God stopping me and saving me because my shirt was kind of long. And I thought to myself, I remember putting my shirt on. I remember putting my shoes and socks on. Then I put my shorts on. And I lifted my shirt up. I didn't have my shorts on. All I had was my underwear on. So I run back to camp, put my shorts on, and caught back up with everybody.
How
And
old were
so,
you?
probably about 12, 13. Yeah,
I can't believe that.
yeah.
That's my first time hearing that one.
And I'm just
Seriously.
I'm just so glad that I was the only one that knew that.
Wow, that is funny.
Well,
Well, mine's not nearly as funny as yours. Well, I guess I have. Well, one of them basically they kind of have to do with hair weaves, but I guess the funniest one was when I was teaching fourth grade at a school, and I was new at that school, and I had just gotten this French roll. That's when French rolls were in style. You know, you would put all that gel on. They put this little French roll, and it was like one of my first times getting a French
I
roll.
don't know what a French roll really
Well, you'll
is.
know when I tell you this. I heard one of the students. He wasn't one of mine. He saw me in the hall area, and I was new. He goes, "Who's that new teacher over there? She looks like she has a dinosaur on top of her head." And I was like, you know what? My feelings were a little hurt. You know, I'm thinking I thought my hair looked nice and everything, but I was kind of self conscious. And then I realized it, and I kind of had to laugh. He's right. It does remind me of a dinosaur. And so, needless to say, I didn't keep that style. I kept it because I wanted to get my money's worth, but I never got that style again. You didn't laugh at mine. You didn't think it was that funny.
No, it just made me think too about I know when women do their hair a certain way and they're very sensitive about how they do their hair. And this lady at my job was telling me that she had fixed her hair kind of the same way, and her granddaughter told her she looked like a unicorn.
Well, okay, yeah. See, yeah, so.
So I thought about that, and I wanted to laugh, but when it's about ladies' hair, I'm kind of self conscious about just letting my laughter all out.
Yeah. All right, number two. What's been your favorite date night so far and why?
For me, it's not so much a specific night, but more so a type. Like right now, I'm sitting with my arms around her. I like it whenever we're doing to be close. I like to be close to you. I like to feel connected. Even when I'm sleeping, sometimes I try to slide over to where she is,
And I
just
try to scoot
so
over that
so I
way.
can touch her, and so I can feel like we're connected, and so we could be watching TV, a movie, or we could be outside. I just like to be close and connected to you.
Okay. So mine was we went to the state fair last year. We went with our kids. We took them, and then he's been begging me for like a long time. He's been asking like, "Oh, I think we should go by ourselves one year." I'm like, "Oh no, we've already taken the kids. We spent so much money at the fair. No, we're good." And then last year, we did do it. We went on a. It was like a whim. We just woke up and we're like, we're just gonna let's go to the state fair by ourselves on a date, and we did, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I'm kind of glad we actually did that because now the state fair, pre that was pre-pandemic, and now we went today. Actually, we just got back from the fair
The
today.
State Fair of Texas.
Yeah, and we have to drive through the fair. We paid to actually drive through the fair today, and it was okay. But
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, I'm glad you and I actually got to experience like a date like that. That was fun. And then I have two of them though. We went to the prom, what, 2 years ago at church.
Yes.
That was one of my favorite date nights too. He actually did a promposal. He came up with this promposal rap, and he asked me to go to the prom with him. He was wearing a tuxedo when he asked.
I look like a crazy man.
He did, but I liked it though. And it was an original song that he wrote, and it made me smile because I didn't enjoy my high school prom. I did not.
Mine,
enjoy my high school
didn't.
prom.
I didn't
So
have fun at mine.
who better to go to prom with than your husband after you get married? After you've been out of high school for 30 years, who better? Was it 30 years? Yeah. Who better to go to the prom with than your husband? So those are my two favorite days. And last question: who would you like to invite over for dinner? It could be a politician, an actor, a singer, anybody.
For me, now if I was 12 or 13, I'd say New Edition because I was a big. I was a huge New Edition fan
was
growing
too.
up. Big, you know.
I had a crush on all of them.
I could sing a little bit then, and I used to think I should have been in the group myself. But now, in my older age, I'm more of a songwriter than I am a singer, and I love putting words together. So if I could have anyone over to the house for dinner, it would be Babyface. Kenneth. It's not a spiritual answer, but it's somebody I really like how he takes a song and he can write it to fit anybody's perspective. You know, when I only think about you on 2 occasions.
That phone always rings when we're recording. That is nothing but the devil. Well,
That's
we're
why
gonna
I
ignore
just
that.
ignore it. So, but I only think about you on 2 occasions. That's day and night.
Yeah, okay.
You know, words like that. Or he has another song. I'm looking at my little note here, Sweet November. You know, and it talks about how we started out as simple friends. You know, and he just invokes you thinking about the first time when you first, you know, fell in love or when you first came together. He has a lot of songs that invoke that. And then it takes me to scripture, and then it talks about, you know,
Babyface?
1 John 4:8. You know, when I'm just thinking about that, 1 John 4:8 says God is love. When you talk about love songs, you know, God is love.
Right.
You know, for some of you spiritual folk out there who could say, how can you think, well, God is love? And then he also, Revelations 2:4 says that, but I have this against you, that you have left your first love. God even tells us to go back to how we were when we first started loving him. You know, why did you do, what made you do the things you did for me when you first fell in love with me? What, you know, go back. And so that's when I think about love songs, I'm looking to go back to a place in time, a feeling, an emotion.
Yeah.
And that's why it would be him.
Okay. I picked, it's kind of funny, I picked a singer too. I picked Rochelle Farrell, and no, she's not a Christian artist or a gospel artist. But her music is pretty clean. I've never heard her say any bad words, or she doesn't wear raunchy clothing. She covers herself up. So Rochelle Farrell, guys. I was introduced to Rochelle Farrell a long time ago, like in the 90s. One of my dear friends, Derek, introduced me to her when we had little cassette tapes. Me and Derek were in a band in Austin, Texas, and he said, have you heard of Rochelle Farrell? And I was like, no. And he was like, here. And we were in his car, or my car, I think it was his car. And he played the CD, the tape, and I heard her voice, and I was like mesmerized. I was like, who is this lady? Her range was like from the highest of the highest notes to the lowest of the lowest notes. And then I found later on that she plays piano.
She's an amazing artist.
And we've seen her in concert several times. But I would have to say Rochelle Farrell. I would love to just sit with her and talk with her. You can tell she's a connoisseur of music. She's a true musician.
Her voice is her instrument.
Not just
That's her
a singer.
primary instrument.
She is a musician.
Her voice is her primary instrument.
So I would love to ask her, you know, how'd you get started? How old were you when you first started singing? How did you start writing music? What are you doing these days? Rochelle Farrell.
Yeah.
So anyway, those were like fun little quick questions that, you know, that we came up with, I came up with this time to just kind of lighten the spirit around here and around the world. Things are kind of dark right now with all the stuff, people getting sick and just the elections coming up and all this stuff. So we wanted to kind of smile and think about some fun stuff for a while. So hopefully that'll help you and your spouse talk, you know, just and bring up a whole bunch of other questions.
And just think about some things that you've done together in the past and how it made you feel. You know, especially go back, like I said, go back to when you first met. go back to some of the things that you first used to do to, and remember how you felt when you did those things for the very first time, and try and make those things happen again.
Yeah. So you guys take care and stay safe, right?
Y'all have a great evening, everyone.
Or it might be during the day.
All right, great day. Whatever it is that you're listening.
Bye, guys. See
Bye
you
bye.
next time. Bye.